Hi, this is Mr. Pablo, and for this lesson you are to identify the upper and lower bounds. Now, a lot of you should be familiar with this. Okay, the lower bound is a number that is the smallest possible number, okay, and the upper bound would be the highest possible number. Now, I can explain further about that while we do the exercises. Now, if 270 is already rounded to the nearest 10, what could be its smallest possible number, or what could be its smallest possible number, and what could it be its highest possible number? So if we look at this, okay, this is rounded into the nearest 10. So you can imagine if 70 is somewhere in the middle of the lowest and the highest, okay, this is rounded to the nearest 10. So basically the difference between the lowest number and the highest number must be 10. Okay? Right. Now what is that number? If the difference must be 10. So that should be 265 and 275. Note that the difference between 265 and 275 is 10, and halfway between them is exactly 270. Therefore, we say that this is the lower bound and that is the upper bound. Okay, some books will say that lower limit, this is the lower limit, and that is the upper limit. Those are two the same things. Note that if we round 265 to the nearest tens, that is equal to 270, so that makes sense. But what about 275? If you round this to the nearest tens, this will become 280. It's not 270. But why is this still the upper bound? Okay. Well, we can think about that in a way that the real upper bound is really 274.999999. That could be, and so on. That could be the highest number. And it will carry on, the nines and nines will carry on forever or infinitely. However, that's not going to be a very convenient number to use because it's going to be a very, very long repeating decimal. So instead of writing this in a, you must write it down in a more convenient way, which is 275. So in a way, okay, the actual number, okay, is equal, is more than or equal to the lower bound. However, just less than the upper bound. Not going to be really equal to that. It's not going to be equal to 275. It's going to be less than that. However, we don't write this. We write 275 because that's a more convenient way. Alright, what about this one? 2,500, rounded to the nearest hundred. So if again we imagine 2,500 in the middle, okay, let's draw, this time I'm going to try and draw a fairly straighter line, okay. The distance between the lower bound and the upper bound is equal to 100. Let me just try and adjust everything so that we have enough space, okay. So that is equal to 100. Now, what would be that number? So basically 50 less here and 50 more here. So that will be 2,450. This is going to be 2,550. Now take a note, 2,450 up to 2,550. That's 100 units away. And also, this would mean that this is our lower bound and that is our upper bound. So that is how you identify the lower bounds and the upper bounds of a given number, given that they are already rounded to a certain condition. So some examples will be rounded to the nearest 1 decimal place or 2 decimal places, and you just have to figure it out in a similar way. And also significant figures, and also for significant figures. Right. Now that ends the lesson for the upper bound and lower bounds of a number. I hope you learned something from that, and thank you very much for watching my video.